All right, guys, I got bad news. In fact, I got terrible news. I got devastating news. Get your kids out of the room. The dumps probably aren't over. Yes, get the kids out of the room. You're probably going to have to send them somewhere else to get raised because you're about to lose all your money if you look at this sign right now. But there is a silver lining, because if you can see and get around this dump that's probably about to happen and then grab these coins at a really good price I'm about to talk about, or look in these sort of niches, you could make an absolute killing if we do not go total bear, which in this case right now, I don't think we are, but I do think we're about to eat a little bit more shit. We're about to load up the plate. The restaurant waiter's about to come up and he's going to say, you, sitting next to the most woke, empty house, business, crypto, fat advice guy with a great bod who is also extremely family friendly and PG, as well as the most successful YouTuber of all time, as well as a billionaire. We all know this is me. We don't have to do that. We all know I'm a very important person. 3-time fastest orange eating champion in this Florida tri-state area. You know this. I know this. Let's not talk about myself anymore, because I know you want me to do that for 10 minutes in this video, but we have things to talk about, which is, of course, is this incoming dump. I think we have a little bit more poo to eat before we start going back up again, or we could be going straight back to a bear market. That would not be unlikely. That would not be out of the question. It would not be weird. And look, I know people get upset and triggered when I say we could go back to bear. There's a strong potential we do that. There's a strong potential for another dump. And for the people that get emotionally triggered when I say that, for the people that get emotionally unstable when I list all the possibilities of the market and look at everything, not just the possible they want, all I have to say is you are a child and this video is not for you. Go watch some other channel where people will tell you everything will go up 24/7. Because you are a chimpanzee, you are a baboon. And this channel is for people that want to look at investing in crypto, not primates who want to throw their poo at the wall when someone tells them they're not going to get a banana today. We need to look at every possibility here and think about how we can best position ourselves. Because if you can evolve past that, for example, I called this dump on Twitter before it happened, and I've also called multiple 3 to 5 X's in the past month. If you just count on my little riddles, for example, I leave like a picture of a horse for D-Race. People that saw that got into D-Race, they got a nice, clean, crispy 3 to 4X. Or the people that caught the donkey hints. Enjoying your 10X? Yeah, I am too. Congratulations. So follow me on Twitter at ZSSBecker to catch that stuff. And let's talk about what we're looking at right here. So look, guys, let's look at what's happening. We got Bitcoin right here, and we're all very aware of what happened the last few days. We just took this massive, heinous dump right here. So what I think is the most likely outcome right here is we're seeing exactly what we saw in January. Everybody's going to be like, oh, Becker said we're going to bear. No, I'm not. A lot of you guys literally have to fabricate stories and tell yourself made-up bedtime stories about things that I think that I've never said to coddle your weak, insecure emotions. I'm not saying we're going bear at all. What I think we're seeing right here is exactly what happened in January this year. I think we're seeing a huge run-up like we saw in January, and I think we're going to see a cooling off period very similar. And the thing about dumps that you need to understand is they usually happen in pairs. What we saw right here in January, we're at 40,000, dumped down to 33, pop back up. Seeing the same exact thing we're seeing on Twitter with influencers. We're back on, guys. Things are back to normal. This is what happens with every dump. People say, oh, already back to normal. Already back up to 40K. Already bouncing again. These people are idiots because almost every time this happens, almost every time, it bounces back up and then it dumps again. And if we're still in a bull trend, it cools off for a little bit. And so we see the bottom of this dump right here, and then it goes and takes off again. Now, why is what Bitcoin is doing, why is it important? I don't invest in Bitcoin because I actually like to make gains in crypto. I don't subscribe to this stupid cult right here. That being said, Bitcoin controls the overall sentiment of the market until we start seeing mass adoption. And I think that's going to happen with gaming. So again, I don't really care what Bitcoin does. I will keep investing in gaming, but there are times when you get really good prices based on what Bitcoin is doing. Because in a macro sense, it does control the market. And so if we watch what Bitcoin is doing, we can kind of predict what the rest of the market's going to do. So let's look at where we're at right now. We've taken this big, gigantic dump right here. All right, we're down to 46,000. So what I think is going to happen is we're going to pop back up, maybe 47, 48. And what I think is most likely is we're going to dump down to 42 to 38 for a little bit. Probably bounce around in the 42, 43, 45 range. It's just going to take another big heinous dump like we saw in January. And there is a good chance that we could go back to bear. Not a large chance. I'm not saying like an 80% chance. But this does look very, very similar to a denial phase in a market crash. And so if you don't know how market crashes happen, we have this big run up and then it bounces down and it goes back to normal. This happened exactly in 2018, by the way. And then we see the bear market come. There's a strong potential that this is what's happening right here. And you need to be aware of this. If you're not aware of this, or you won't think about this, or this upsets you, you're an idiot, because this is how every market has gone. And if you're not going to consider how every other market has gone and only look at the markets that you agree with, you're just sticking your head in the sand. I'm sorry, there's no other condolences for you. You're an idiot if you refuse to look at every other market formation. And so this has happened many times before. In fact, it's the default for these type of markets. However, what I think is happening right here is we saw the China bans, we saw the FUD that happened from Elon Musk, and we took this big ugly dive right here, and also people were just afraid of the last two markets. We're back up right here, and in my opinion, Bitcoin has just gone way too mainstream. You see billboards of it everywhere, every celebrity is investing into it. It's the cool thing to do, as well as the rest of crypto. Like being in crypto is a cool, smart investment now. And so I don't really see us going bear. And so what I think is going to happen right here is we're going to take this dump, bounce back up, dump again, because people think we're in this denial phase, and then we're probably going to keep going back up again. I think that's the most likely scenario. And so what am I doing right now? Well, first off, you guys know that I invest in crypto gaming. And even if Bitcoin goes and takes a massive dump here, we're going to see crypto gaming do this in a bear market. It doesn't matter to me what Bitcoin does, because crypto gaming is hitting mass adoption. It is being played. It is coming. It doesn't matter what Bitcoin or the rest of DeFi is doing. This isn't some hypothetical thing. It's coming. The end. And adoption isn't going to be relying on Bitcoin. It will decouple from Bitcoin. And as people are playing crypto games in mass and using the infrastructure behind it, it will lift the entire crypto market up that's actually being used and adopted, and Bitcoin will become a lot more irrelevant. And so I believe that's going to happen next year, so I'm not too worried. That's why I haven't sold any of my gaming cryptos or a few of the DeFi gems that I like to hold. However, what I'm doing right now in my plan of attack is, one, I'm just holding. But I do want to buy a lot of things that are at way over valuations right now. So for example, Sandbox. This is something I really, really, really want to get into. I love Sandbox, and frankly, the valuation is just way too high. We saw it blow up in the bear market right here. Okay. And we've seen it blow up again. Then we saw this dump that just happened. I really think if we dump again, we're going to see it go much lower, probably down to like right here. I'm going to buy a lot of Sandbox then, because I think it just has a really bright future. It just does. Or I'm going to look at things like Axie. Like Axie is just going to keep growing. But I don't want to buy it up here. I want to buy it right here. I think if we take another dump, people are going to start to really panic sell, because I think we're in the denial phase. And it's going to be a great time to buy these larger gaming cryptos. I'm also really looking super hard. And you guys know that my main investment thesis is gaming cryptos, because of what I stated right before I got into this whole what things am I looking at. Now, I'm not going to mention little micro caps in this video. I don't like talking about little micro caps because it pumps them, which is why I leave what I'm investing in and the smaller coins I'm investing in, I leave those in riddles on Twitter. Little hints in the comments section allow you to get in early before they pump up. So if you want to see like the smaller coins I'm investing in, follow me at CSS Becker on Twitter. I'm never going to outright say them, but I'm going to hide them, and that's where I give all the little hints at. For example, if you had caught my little loot hint right here, you'd be up like 10, 15x already and was free to mint. So you should follow me there. But if I'm looking at any other things, if you're really into DeFi and whatnot, so I mentioned last video, I'm not really hip on investing in Cardano anymore. I think the ecosystems underneath it are going to do really well. And I don't think Cardano is going anywhere. I think it's very likely they get their smart contracts out on the 12th. I just don't see the risk to reward on Cardano at all. What I'm going to be looking at is, a lot of people are going to think I'm going to say Solana, but Solana's already super pumped right here. Max, we're going to see it go to the market cap of Cardano right now and come up and match Cardano, which is very likely to happen, especially if Cardano, if they fumble the smart contracts of their average here on the 12th, Solana's going to flip it no problem. But what I'm looking at would be DOT, but even more so, I'm going to be looking at Phantom, which is an incredible smart contract, which is just an incredible rival to the things we just mentioned. I'm also going to be looking at AVAX, because again, I want to make the really, really large games. And what I see happening, especially if Cardano just gets boring here. Binance Coin gets boring. Solana gets boring. People are going to roll those profits into the lower smart contract ecosystems. Phantom and AVAX look just ripe to explode. But more so, I'm going to be looking for discounts on things I didn't get quite into. So Decentraland, Axie, Sandbox, and there's tons of other games underneath here that I'm buying up right now, or I'm still buying up because they're at lower market caps, and I know the gains that are going to be made on those. But if I'm looking at these big microcaps, But if I'm looking at these big market cap gaming coins, I want to buy the juicy blue chip ones, but I want to buy them on a massive discount. And I think that discount is coming. If it's not, that's literally completely fine. I'm not selling anything right now, but I am looking for those discounts, and I am looking for that double dump pattern that happens with almost every pullback we've seen in the market so far. Doesn't happen? Cool. Not selling anything. Does happen. Great. I have so much dry powder. I'm going to be buying a lot of things low. And that's my overall thoughts on the market right now. If you want to see things a lot sooner, guys, follow me at CSS Becker on Twitter. That's where I do all my little microcap hints. That's where I talk about calls a lot sooner than I'm seeing in the market. And you're going to get information there way faster than here because it takes me like forever to make a video. So I don't have anything else to say. I'll catch you later.